Good morning. Hey there, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. This is Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while surviving adulthood today. This morning, we are going to take a deep dive into my all-time favorite Saturday morning cartoon as part of Saturday Morning 101. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man and his amazing friends, and the amazing Cade Hawkins from Cartoon Commotion is going to join us this morning. I can't wait, and we're going to get to that right after this from the Murdering Crows.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean, Elvis Presley and he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
All right, friends and foes, we are back, and that awesome theme song is performed by our friends, the Murdering Crows. You can get their album, Four Bad Crows, available from Amazon, iTunes, Google, anywhere you buy music, and that would be awesome. And this show is also brought to you by our Super Cereal Box friends, Eli Cash, Cindy Kep, Charisse Collins, Dave Manginelli, Dave Mattingly, Greg and Crystal Jones, and the latest Cereal Box super friend, Cade Hawkins, who is joining us this morning. And also brought to you by the Tales of the Decoverse book series by yours truly, available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And it is time to welcome in my co-hosts this morning. But the first thing I have to ask is, where in the world is co-host Dee Barty? She is out of the rec room this morning because she had a late night. Let's just put it that way. So she will not be joining us this morning, but that's okay because I've got one of the best co-hosts on the planet. She has stepped up in this last year and become a vital part, not just of this show, but of the Cereal Box Network. She is coming to us all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, via the magic of the interwebs. She is the Peppermint Princess, the social media socialite, the fan of Marvel superheroes, all things comic books, and X-Men in particular. Give it up for your emotional support Canadian, the one, the only, Willow Schuyler.
Face it, Tiger, I think you just hit the jackpot.
I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. You would be a great Mary Jane. Have you ever cosplayed as Mary Jane?
No, but I've cosplayed other redheads.
I think we need to see Willow as Mary Jane at the next con. I think that, listen, well, you may get some more of that unwanted attention.
Yeah.
But maybe in a good way. I don't know. Listen, I think you would be a great Mary Jane. So, Willow, today is Free Comic Book Day. Do you do that in Canada? Is that a thing?
We do. Unfortunately, I have to work later, so I probably won't be going to a comic book store, but yeah.
What? You need to send a friend or someone out to get you some stuff.
Hey, my husband's already going to a collectible store, and he's probably going to come back with a lot more trains.
Well, tell him to run by the comic book shop and get you some free comics because you're going to love this. Today, for Free Comic Book Day, one of the books that is out is the new Uncanny Avengers series. So, the Uncanny Avengers sprang out of the first Avengers versus X-Men series, and it was they were called the Unity Squad. Captain America put together a collection of heroes that were mutants and, magic and humans to create unity. And they became the Uncanny Avengers, and Willow, Rogue, became the leader of that team.
Oh, wow.
And Rogue is back on the team in the new Uncanny Avengers. I can't wait. I think you would dig it in a big, big way.
Okay.
So, Free Comic Book Day has that out today. Now, there was something else I needed to mention before we get... Oh, we got to talk about what this show is all about. I didn't even tell our audience why they should even be watching. This is a pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while surviving adulthood today. And Willow, when I was a kid, and when you were a kid, Saturday mornings meant big bowls of cereal and sitting down to watch cartoons and kung fu movies and kaiju and reading comic books, speaking of New Comic Book Day. And that's what this show is all about. And joining us this morning is all the way from Cartoon Commotion, the newest show on the Cereal Box Network. And he is, listen, this is pretty awesome. This guy, he's one of the most creative people I've ever met. He's super talented. He is raising the bar for the Cereal Box Network. He never lived through the era that I lived through when cartoons were on Saturday Morning Live, but he has become obsessed with becoming a cartoon historian, a cartoon archaeologist. And his show, Cartoon Commotion, complements ours perfectly. But you guys, I'm so jealous of this guy because Cade Hawkins is literally a cartoon. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box, Cade.
Hiya, friends! I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God. And you are a literal cartoon this morning. I love this. We're not going to get into the technical stuff. All I got to say is this is super cool. And to introduce Cade, I want to play this. So just so that you guys know what you're in for with Cartoon Commotion, this is his intro theme song. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Cade Hawkins.
Let's go back in time. We can just hit rewind. What a terrific notion. It's Cartoon Commotion.
Isn't that awesome? I'm so jealous. Of course, listen, everybody tells us that we have the best theme song on the planet, but I love that Cartoon Commotion. Who recorded that, Cade?
Okay, so I wrote the lyrics for a guy on Fiverr. I'd have to link it to you because I don't know his actual name.
That's fantastic. Well, so Cade is going to be joining this morning because we're going to be talking about Spider-Man and his amazing friends. But here's how this show works. Willow, tell people how they can participate in our show.
All right. So on either Facebook or YouTube, you can join us in the chat, and we will bring your comments up, just like here with Eric Grant, who can't make this the live show, but he will watch us on the replay. All the best, guys.
Yes. And like Dave Mattingly says, good morning, Box Tops. Good morning, Dave Mattingly. That's how this show works. And also, Willow, you might want to mention, where did it disappear to? Somebody has moved my my banners all around. What's going on?
That might have been my fault.
Uh-oh.
I was trying to add stuff, and then I realized I was messing with the wrong thing.
I think you just deleted a banner.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So, yeah, we don't have the banner running below us, but you can support us at... where can they support us, Willow?
At buymeacoffee.com.
Cereal Box Pod. There you go. If you like the show, you can contribute, and we'll fix that with the banner and get that popped up here in a minute and get that running below. But the first thing that we have to do when we start this show, because this show is about the fun of the Saturdays of our youth, the Saturday experience, I've got to ask, what's in the bowl? And Willow, you've got a big bowl. You went shopping this week.
I did.
What do you got this morning?
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you've
but-
got Reese's
sorry.
Puffs. No, that's okay. Let's see what you got here. Reese's Puffs, bunnies. What? Bunnies? I've never seen Reese's Puffs bunnies.
It's like blocking out all the bunnies.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Nobody needs to see my living room.
Yeah, but Willow, what's it taste like? What's the back of the cereal box look like?
There's nothing.
Nothing?
It's in French.
We're
not cool like you guys. Who, Canada wants everything, both French and English. So, yeah. If those of you who've watched Canadian Bacon will understand the joke on that.
Well, but how's the French or the Reese's Bunny Puffs taste? Does
It's
it taste
good.
like Reese's Puffy or
Yes.
peanut butter cups?
It does. I like it. Although it is getting in its soggy form now, but it's fine.
You start too early. Willow is already eating cereal before we go live, but I love that. Hey, Willow, you know that there's a whole subsection of fandom that would just love to watch you eat cereal.
No.
I couldn't. No. No offense.
Well, it harkens back to a conversation that we had before we went live on air. You want to talk about
Nobody
comments?
needs to see that. No.
There were.
Nobody needs to see a fat girl eat.
I
No.
think I remember. I think I remember-
Onlyfans.com.
I think I remember hearing you talk about the sensory subject with cereal before. What was that called? I forget.
With the sounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. Like it's
So
Yeah.
you have a problem with that? Well,
no, just not a favorite subject.
that's funny. So Cade is munching down on
Yep.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch protein bar.
Yep.
So protein bar. Now I've had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch regular cereal bar, but I've not had the protein bar.
Yeah, this is weird. So I found this at a gas station literally yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like it's obviously kind of gimmicky. How to describe it? It smells like a musty cinnamon. Like I wouldn't describe it as exactly desirable.
This is my face.
But I guess if you're on a strict diet, I'm trying to lose weight and I can't have cereal all the time, so this is a nice little substitute.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out there because I've been going through the same process for over the last 2 years. I've lost about 100 pounds.
Oh.
And for those of you who've been watching the show, you can see it from the first couple of episodes to now. My face gets tapered more and more. So I only eat cereal on Saturday mornings. Well, the fun cereal. Throughout the week, I love Magic Spoon cereal.
Oh yeah, I've heard about them.
Amazing, and none of the junk. All right, so you guys, Willow, I had to take a cue from you. So I saw that you went grocery shopping and you spent a lot of money that probably was way too much money, but I found this week this brand of donuts called Bon Appetit. And they do all these different flavors. And so I picked up the cinnamon roll flavor, and we're going to find out right now, does Bon Appetit cinnamon roll donuts cereal They are covered with, I don't know, some kind of glaze, but it's like a hard glaze. And I'm hoping that once I put the milk on it, it gets like really hard. So we're just going to do 3 of them here. And I'm putting 3 of these donuts, I'm breaking them up. And by the way, by themselves, amazing. This company, I don't know what kind of crack magic they're putting in their donuts, but it's amazing. So I've got my bowl with the sippy straw. I've got my Skeletor color-changing spoon. This is my Saturday morning best life, Cade.
But can you do the voice? Can you do the voice?
The Skeletor voice?
Well, like
yeah, He-Man. He-Man, yeah. I'm gonna get away and kill you. I don't know. You know what? Can I admit something? I was never a He-Man fan. Yeah. Yep. All right, here we go. Bon appetit donuts. Will it cereal? Oh my God. See the pyramids along the Nile. See the marketplace in old Cancun. This is amazing. Listen, donuts and milk is my favorite treat to begin with. But eating...
I've heard you say that before, but I've never thought of putting donuts in milk. I've never thought of that before.
What?
No, it's never even crossed my mind. I was like, donuts in milk.
You dunk them in the milk. Oh my God, yes.
Interesting.
And cookies? Milk and
yeah,
cookies?
I mean, cookies, yeah, that's a norm up here, but...
and milk and Twinkies, and milk and Ho-Hos, and basically any kind of cake or cookie substance
with milk
can be great in milk. And as cereal, this is amazing. This is everything I wanted it to be in life.
It's
I
milkified.
could die happy. Yes, I could die happy right now. Amazing. Now, the second part of Saturday morning fun, Cade, when we were kids, we would reach into the cereal box, root around, or if you did like me, you just poured the whole thing out in a big bowl so you could get the prize inside the cereal box. This is something that we call new loot. So, I'm so sad that Dee Barty is not here with us because she is a Jurassic Park fanatic. And if you guys don't know, I am obsessed with a board game called Unmatched. It's a basically last man standing card drafting and minifig game. And it pits different characters against each other, like King Arthur versus Alice in Wonderland and Bloody Mary versus Harry Houdini. It's amazing. Well, this week in the cereal box, I got the Jurassic Park expansions. And speak the devil's name, and she arrives in the studio. Dee Barty doesn't have her headphones on yet, but Dee, I got the Jurassic Park Unmatched expansion packs. So this is Ingen or Ingen. How do you pronounce his name? Ingen versus the Raptors. And there's 3 Raptor minifigs and him, but that's not all I got.
There's more.
Wait, there's more.
Is that a game?
This is a game, Dee. It's a board game. Look,
oh, wow.
I got the T-Rex versus Dr. Statler, and you guys, I'm just gonna open this up.
When are we playing?
Well, whenever you want to come over, darling.
Okay.
Actually, game night tonight, if you want to come over. So, check this out. So, I've opened it up. Everything's got its own tray. And this is the regular size minifigs. This is Dr. Statler. Little tiny. But for this game, this is the T-Rex.
Oh, wow.
You know, Nathan would just be like, forget the game. I'm just going to play with the T-Rex.
Oh, I know. I mean, beautifully crafted. Look at that.
The detail
That
is
is
amazing. on them.
excellent. That
And
is most excellent.
Yeah, and apparently the T-Rex pretty much beats everybody.
Well,
Up until now, Bigfoot has been my character of choice in this game. But tonight, I might discover that T-Rex is going to be my character of choice because T-Rex beats everybody. So,
I would need to go to the miniature store to get paints to paint those.
well, and a lot of people do. You know what? I've never been into painting my minifigs just because I'm always afraid that I'm going to mess them up. But, Cade, you've got some new loot this morning, and you...
Just FYI, the dog barking is not mine this time.
No, it's mine. It's mine behind me. So, Cade, here you go. This is your new loot. You want to set this up? What
Yeah.
are we looking at here?
yeah, so it's not exactly new. It's because I haven't been on the show before. I just kind of did a few little video clips of some of bits of my collection. So just a little bit to just, you know, kind of just a teaser of the kind of stuff that I have.
Here we go.
Those are the best action figures.
I need that sign in my life.
Yeah, and I ended it on Spider-Man purposefully.
Ta-da! I love that. I love that. So, Dee, we did not think you were going to be joining us this morning. Dee Barty is my co-host of 11 years, and she is a multi-talented, multi-discipline actress, model, photographer, phenomenal co-host,
Oh, thanks.
and lover of all things Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, and she's obsessed with Pops.
I am now. Don't forget Wizard of Oz. Love
I
Wizard-
I know.
actually completely understand that. I have not yet actually shown you the pop shelves I have. I've got an entire, like, almost, I would say it's like, it's a kind of cardboard display shelf. It's one of those things where you slide the pops into it,
Okay, yeah.
and it's like stacked on top of each other, and it's like all cartoon characters for one wall.
I love that.
I've got Scooby-Doo, I've got Batman, I've got G.I. Joe, I've got some Transformers on there.
That's awesome.
It's loaded to the brim, and it's actually so heavy that the bottom part fell off, and I have to pick it back up and screw it back on, because it needs like brackets. That's how big it is.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Dee, do you have any prizes from the cereal box this morning? You're here.
I'm the prize.
You are the prize. I love that.
Do you
I
know
love
how
it.
many margaritas I drank last night? Oh my gosh. Insane. I celebrated Cinco de Mayo, man. For real.
I mean, I had tacos.
I'm still a little.
You have kidneys left?
That's
I'm
funny.
still a little spinny this morning. I got out of bed and was like, oh, it's not good. It's not good.
That's funny. All right, so it's time for some viewer comments. We've got some great comments. We're going to try to get through as many of these as we can. Chris Walker says, "Good morning, John. That was my top 5 of Saturday morning cartoons. Love Spider-Man and his amazing friends." Absolutely. Dave Mattingly says, "Hooray for Cade." And
Thank you.
Dave Mattingly says, "Willow is a jackpot for all of us." Yes, she is. Dee, you missed the conversation about Willow doing a Mary Jane Watson cosplay from Spider-Man. You know Mary Jane Watson?
I think D would be a better Mary Jane.
Well, after this, she may consider Firestar.
Let's see. Dave Mattingly today for Free Comic Book Day is going to my favorite comic book shop as soon as the broadcast is done. Me too. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at 1:50 today.
Ooh, maybe I'll do that too.
I love this comment from Dave Mattingly. Let's raise some cartoon commotion.
That's awesome.
You know what that deserves? That comment deserves this, Dave.
Hey, you found him! You found Jiggy. That
Get
Get jiggy with it. Na, na,
that's
na,
that's
na,
my
na,
that's
na.
my friend Jiggy. He's my pet pig, and he's gonna be he's kind of my co-analyst, I guess you could say.
I love
he
it.
helps me analyze animation.
Toy Stalker says good morning.
Good morning.
And D. Barty says, I'm coming. Make my coffee now.
Yeah, there. Well, she's fast.
And Dave asks you, Willow, does it taste like Reese's or like bunnies?
Reese's. If it tasted like bunnies, I have eaten rabbit before, so
But like raw in a box.
no theft.
So, Willow, you work at a pet store. Do you guys have rabbits there?
No, not right now. We have like the guinea pigs and the skinny pigs, and rats.
Wait. Skinny pigs.
I was
What are
gonna
skinny
say-
pigs?
I have no
Uh,
idea what that is.
Skinny pigs are hairless guinea pigs.
Really? I've never seen such a thing.
I need pictures.
I'm looking this up like right now, guys. I have to see this.
I love that.
Share with the group, D.
Okay, you got it.
And D, if you could do me one favor
Absolutely.
and move just a hair closer to your microphone, that would be fantastic. Or move it closer to you.
How's that?
Oh,
Much better. Always get it as close as possible.
It's
Well,
creating a
I try not to
miniature
do the earthquake.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They're so cute.
Colin Hawkins, is this related to you, Cade?
Yes.
Says, good morning from Michigan. I loved watching Spider-Man with my kids every Saturday morning. So much fun creating memories together.
Oh yeah. Used to watch it all the time.
They look like baby hippopotamuses.
Oh wow.
Wait. Hold on, D. We got to bring this up. So,
Can we make that bigger?
yeah, we're going to do that.
Look at this.
It's kind of like
Oh.
a naked
Also-
mole rat, but cuter.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
I like to call it the Canadian house hippo.
The Canadian
I
house
can
hippo.
see that.
I
love it.
I love that.
This one has a sweater.
He got so
Uh-oh.
excited.
They have
Uh-oh.
sweaters.
Oh my god. I think we have just led D. Barty down a Yeti hole.
Oh, this
and
one's pink.
Oh goodness.
I think D has a new obsession. Skinny pig photography.
Oh my. Ooh,
And
that
Dave
sounds dirty.
Send your skinny. You can send donations through Buy Me a Coffee to get D started on the skinny pig collection.
That's hysterical. Dave Mattingly is scolding me, Willow. He says, don't embarrass her, talking about Willow, about weird fandoms.
I'm part of the furry community, you guys. I think I've already been there.
Toy Stalker says, OnlyFans, eating cereal while wearing cartoon onesie pajamas. Well, that's this show. That's what happens on this show. But, yeah.
I think he's saying that he'll pay extra for it. I know.
I think he is too. Willow?
That's
Should we
all
have a
you,
co-
girl.
Should we have a conversation after this show?
Again, you can donate to Buy Me a Coffee.
It'll be on there now. It'll be an extra. It'll be a perk.
Oh my gosh! Listen, if we, I'm gonna leave it alone. Dave Mattingly says, "Cade, your cartoon self doesn't look like you. Like you need to lose any weight."
Oh, don't worry, Dave. This is not going to change at all.
And Dave Mattingly says, "John, your Skeletor voice sounds like Joe Pesci. Does it really?" Jump it. This is all I need. Is we're out here in the woods. I'm trying to win a case, and your biological clock is ticking away.
That's one of my favorite movies, John.
It is. It's one of my top 10 all-time favorites.
Oh my gosh! I never get your references, but I got that one because I love that movie. I
You're
watched
welcome.
it the other day.
You're welcome.
That
She
makes me so
understood that
happy.
reference.
Yeah. And Chris Walker says, you didn't care for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? No, I did not. Not as a kid. However, I did love the recent Netflix Masters of the Universe series. Most people panned it before they saw the final product, but I loved it.
Well, Johnny, that's part of what I do. Is like I go back and I look through the cartoons of our past to find value that we missed out on. You know?
Yes.
So, like, stay tuned.
Well, and I love. Did you like how I described you as a cartoon archaeologist?
I did. I didn't want to I didn't want to take up too much of the intro, but I really did. I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. It just came to me. It's what I do. And Dave Mattingly says, my cousin Skeletor. Oh my God. This needs to happen.
Like, why haven't anybody on YouTube made this yet? Because it should be made.
Yep. That would be fantastic. Well, that catches us up to comments for right now. You guys keep them
you
coming.
didn't read the one where Chris says, read the Facebook comments, John. She
Oh.
says she's going to be there soon.
Because I already did that.
You're here.
You didn't read that one, though. It was
Yeah, I
kinda
did.
funny.
No, I did. Oh, I didn't
Uh-uh.
read Chris's. Yes,
Right.
you're right. Because I read your comment already.
Right.
So it's kind of redundant. See, anyway.
But it's funny.
If you say so.
Willow thinks it's funny.
Read the Facebook comments, John. She says she's going to be there soon. Are you happy?
Yep.
That's from Chris Walker. All right.
She's fulfilled.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Well, it is time to get to our main topic. Saturday Morning 101. And DBRT,
Uh-huh.
why did we do this particular series, this segment? What is Saturday Morning 101 for?
I don't like quizzes. I don't know.
I know. I put it in the outline that I was going to ask you this question.
I
You
didn't-
read the outline. I know you didn't.
I was drinking margaritas. I mean, come on.
So, Willow, why did we do this segment? Who is this for?
For those of us who haven't watched these cartoons or have no idea what they're about, so we inform them, and yeah, we go through all the cool little details about them.
That's a great way of describing it.
I don't know, guys. I started not to come back after y'all dissed My Little Pony.
I didn't diss it.
That was so bad. You broke my heart.
The original My Little Pony, like if you read the description of it, it's some pretty hardcore stuff, man. They're
Hey,
like
look.
trying to survive.
Look, I just
look. I fart glitter and confetti. Okay, like
We didn't need to know
and
that.
That's
We
what
didn't
My
need-
I
Little
did not
Pony
need
is
to know
about.
that.
We would have been fine if you never told us that, D. We would have
Yeah.
been fine.
Well, now you
The
know.
more you know.
The rainbow has flown over our heads, and it says, "The more you know."
So this whole this first season, or first series of Saturday Morning 101, we are like taking on what our fans, what you, the audience, have told us are the essentials of Saturday morning and the Saturday morning experience. The next series that we're going to do, as we finish this one, will be the weekday shows. So not Saturday morning, but weekdays. And then we'll do Saturday Morning 102, which will be the more obscure stuff. But right now we're doing the essentials to expose not just you, the audience, but specifically D. Barty, who...
I'm getting exposed, evidently.
You need to be
OnlyFans.com.
No.
You need to be
Anyway.
cartoon educated, D.
So this morning,
Evidently.
we are talking about my all-time, literally all-time favorite Saturday morning cartoon. I still go back and rewatch this on a regular basis. Dun 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 dun. Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Firestar and Iceman, and that's exactly what this show is about. Spider-Man lives with and teams up with Angelica Jones and Bobby Drake, Firestar and Iceman, and they go on amazing adventures, and they fight robots and other supervillains and Doctor Doom, and they even teamed up with the X-Men, not once, not twice, but 3 times on this series. And Willow, this is, in my opinion, the foundation of the modern Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is where it all started on Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Because in the first season of this show, we did a deep dive on 7 Little Superheroes, the episode 7 Little Superheroes, where you had Captain America and Namor and Doctor Strange and Shanna the She-Devil all joining Spider-Man and his amazing friends on a massive team-up. It was epic! But Cade, you prepared for this episode by taking a deep, deep dive. I think you told me yesterday you finished the entire series.
Yeah, actually, I rewatched all 3 seasons, and I took copious notes. Copious. So I have a lot to.
That sounds like a medical condition.
Well, it is.
Right next to OBS.
They haven't figured it out yet, but you know. So, I guess I could lead with the most interesting thing I took note of.
Okay.
I think that perhaps the most amazing part of Amazing Friends is specifically their amazing friendship.
Aw, look
See,
at that.
In season 1, episode 2, Bobby was actually having trouble, Bobby being Iceman, was having trouble paying the rent, and on 3 occasions he mentioned it. And then when he finally went to pay the rent, Bobby, Angelica, and Peter helped him pay it. They, went behind his back and gave Aunt May the envelope full of the money, and he just found out. See, I think that their friendship really is what made the show. Like, their dialogue, their relationships, that is what made this show so great.
So, did you pick up on this, Cade? As a kid, I always thought that there was a romantic tension between Peter and Angelica. But Peter never acted on it because I think Bobby also had a crush for Angelica. And he, never moved in and respected his friend as well.
Well, believe it or not, this is actually addressed quite a lot in the show.
Is it?
Yeah, in episode 8 of season 1, Iceman actually got Peter, or Spidey, to confess that he truly cares for Angelica, but he's afraid that if he's rejected, it would literally be the end of Amazing Friends. Like, Spider Friends. It was literally a case of unmet love at every turn. It was kind of heart-jerking at some moments because there were episodes where, in that same episode, Bobby confessed that he also likes Angelica, but he can't get close to her because he said that fire and ice don't exactly mix.
But they complement each other perfectly.
I'm torn because I love the idea of Spidey and Firestar becoming a couple, but at the same time, Bobby is such a charming. He's such a charming character in this show that you feel bad for him at times, and I want to explain. When you feel bad for a character, guys, that's a good thing. That is good because what it means is they wrote the character very well. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with feeling bad for a character like this character's missing out. Okay, you should feel bad for characters because that means that they're doing a good job in the writing. All right? Iceman, there was a moment where, I think it was episode 3, Iceman had to ask Angelica to back off because she was getting too close and her heat powers were actually causing him to melt.
Her hotness.
Yeah, he actually literally phrased it like this. You gotta back off, hot stuff.
I love that. I think that could be applied to DBRT sometimes.
I think I've actually been told those exact words.
Yeah, by Dean Cain.
Maybe.
So Cade, this is amazing. We're gonna get to more of your thoughts and impressions, but I gotta know, DBRT. How many episodes did you watch, and what are your takeaways?
She didn't watch it.
I mean, I thought it was amazing.
Pun
No,
intended.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch anything.
Pun intended.
Not even the short clips I sent you?
Nope. I didn't even check your message. Do you know how many messages we have gotten lately on the little...
Well, on the group chat, yes, I know. We're going to address that. But on our little co-host chat, yes, I send a lot of messages, but they're all important. They're for the show.
I know. Look, I'm just going to be honest with you. By the time,
Mute those.
by the time Friday hits, I forget that the show is even a thing. And then I'm like, oh, crap. And then I end up having, a ton of things to do. Because, I've got a ton of things to do. So... And then I'm like, oh, I might not be there Saturday. And I always show up. But, so that's, yeah.
Willow,
Yes,
So
sir.
no, I didn't watch anything.
I know you did the homework, and you just got Disney Plus, which
I
means
did.
you have
Oh,
access
no.
to the entire Spider-Man library.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
So, but what do you think? What are your first impressions of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
It's actually a really good show. I don't remember watching it when I was a kid. I don't know if we got that up here.
Well, it was maybe
there was-
before your time.
There
Because
were
I
so
don't
many
think it's...
cartoons in the 80s, so...
Well, and I don't think it ever ran in any reruns. It ran
No.
Saturday mornings, but for whatever reason, Cade, they never moved Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends to syndication.
No, I remember watching it in reruns because, I didn't grow up in the 80s.
Right, I know that.
So, it was, early 2000s. They were running it back to back. I think it was either on ABC or Disney with Spider-Man from the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so 94 Spider-Man and 81 Amazing Friends were going back to back, and little kid me was super confused. We were like, wait, where's Mary Jane? But, as I got older and I started digging into things, it made sense, it clicked, and I love Spider-Man, so it never really mattered. I just wanted to figure out where he came from and where it got to. Those shows were the start of my Spider-Man fandom.
Well, so let me ask you this question. You guys, Willow, you watched the clips that I sent, and hopefully you took a little bit of a deep dive and read some of the trivia and maybe watched some of the other episodes like Cade and I did. But did I lost the question I was going to ask. I had it in my head, and it completely left me. What just happened?
Did it have anything to do with the other show? The other, kind of? No?
I don't know. I mean, I was speaking the thought, and as I'm speaking it left in the ether.
That's why I take notes.
Yeah, I don't know what just
I'm
happened.
gonna have to download OBS so that I can get those fun little sound effects.
Bye, Chris. Thank you for watching.
Bye, Chris.
Dee's
Chris
stepping ahead.
says he's gotta go. Have a good weekend, everyone.
He's got to go. You got to tell him bye. He's leaving.
It is a nice thing to say.
Yes, it is. I love it. Love it. Yeah, Iceman would melt with Firestar in more ways than one.
Yeah, like I said, I was very torn about that because I love the idea of fire and ice making it work, making a relationship work. It's like, it's kind of adorable, but at the same time, Peter and Angelica actually had a couple dates, so it's like, I wasn't sure if Bobby was just kind of like stepping out of the picture and just letting them be together, or if they were all three just kind of taking turns dating, I guess.
They were a throuple. They were
very
polyamorous before polyamory was a thing.
So so I didn't want to address this, but I feel like it should be addressed. There was an episode, it was season 3, episode 6. Spidey meets the girl from tomorrow. It was very odd. He meets an alien who is from the future and literally falls in love with her instantaneously and decides to throw his entire life away to go live with her on another planet in the future. So they worked things out to where he couldn't go because of Earth germs. Yep. And he had to stay on Earth. But the thing that makes me feel unfulfilled in that episode is that they didn't really console him. There was no, because most of the time at the end of, every Amazing Friends episode, there was this moment where the three got back together and was just like, we're pals. No worries. It's all good. But at the end of this one, it was just sad because he's left there standing and she's off on another planet, and you just have to imagine he can't be with her. And that's just how it is. And
so everyone was just like, sorry about your tough luck, Pete.
Yeah.
Let's go get some pizza.
Pretty much.
There was no, oh, poor baby.
Well, okay, so, like I said, unmet love was basically an underlying theme throughout this entire show. And there was a moment, episode 7, where Firestar... episode 7 of season 3, where Firestar is forced to confront an old love of hers. It's a revenge-seeking cyborg named Cyberad. And that's you got the picture there, Johnny.
Yeah, let me bring it up here.
Okay, so, 2 things about this. Firestar was working with this guy, and I think his name was Nathan Bright, to help perfect some sort of experiments he was doing. I'm not sure if they had to do with light or what, but AIM, unmentioned, but they're visibly the AIM agents, like with MODOK and everything. They come in and they blow the place up, and he thinks that Firestar did it. Because of course, why would she? She loves you, right? But he blames her, and at first designs this cyborg organic half of him he programs it for revenge, to seek revenge on Firestar, and that's how the whole premise of the episode, that's the whole plot of it. Now, the thing I think is really cool about this is Cyberad is basically a robo Two-Face. He is literally fighting with himself because his human half still loves Firestar and does not want to hurt her.
That's amazing. And Dave Mattingly adds a comment. That's why I never date revenge-seeking cyborgs. They just can't let it go.
Well, in his defense, he wasn't always a revenge-seeking cyborg.
That's hysterical. So, Dee, do you have any notes like Cade does?
You know what? Go on somewhere.
Okay, but to be fair to Dee, I am a living, breathing cartoon character.
Yes, you are.
It's kind of hard to compete. I mean...
Well, so, Dee, can you tell that if you put Cade and I together in a room, all other people would be, we would ignore everybody else, and this would
wait, unintentionally.
I mean, you kind of are already.
We don't mean to.
Willow and I are just having to like interject, but I'm fine with that.
Well, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it, because these are very deep emotional things happening in this cartoon. Like, no, there are a lot of deep emotional things in this cartoon that I did not expect because it's Amazing Friends.
Well, and produced by Marvel, who also did Gem and the Holograms.
True.
And Gem and the Holograms, we've talked about this before, Willow, that you had forgotten how impactful that show was around the
And
issue
it touched on a lot more heartwarming subjects than you think that a cartoon would.
more adult themes. And this did the same thing from same studio. It makes perfect sense that Gem would continue that.
I have to ask you, Johnny, because I don't know for sure. Was this tied to Sunbow, or did Sunbow have nothing to do with this one?
It had nothing to do with this one. Now the so Cade is opening up a big Pandora's box. So Marvel Animation Studios subcontracted out a lot of the work to Sunbow Studios. And so they probably did work on this. But, I don't know how much they were... Because Sunbow was involved with Transformers and G.I. Joe and all of the Marvel Studio stuff. I'm sure their hand was in it. But that's a deep subject for another day.
Because I know that... name slips my mind... but the voice of Bumblebee was Spider-Man in this.
Yes.
I know his name any other time I'm talking about him, but right now. So I'm wondering
That happens
if
to me all the time.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the audio recordings kind of they had the same sort of casts in certain things. I know that very few voices from this show actually carried over from the first show that you said aired earlier in the year.
Wait, was this Dave
Gilvazan?
Gilvazan, yeah.
Yes, Dave Gilvazan.
Yeah, so what Cade is referencing is in 1981, there was another show that was just a Spider-Man solo show. And they recycled some of the animation for Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, same theme song, but the quality of the animation on the solo show was not nearly as good as Amazing Friends.
That is interesting, because I know that so I read up, the first one was done overseas, from what I can remember, some of the animation.
I'm sure it was, yeah.
And that's interesting, because that animation was reserved for the Sunbow stuff.
But the character designs, the character models were not very... I don't think they were as good. Now, there was a great episode with Namor the Submariner and his niece, Namorita, that was a lot of fun. But the voices were different. The character designs were different. There were so many things that didn't work for me that Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends corrected.
It's also worth mentioning that so fans have speculated that they are in the same universe. But to clarify, there were entire scripts just copied from the 81 show to the Amazing Friends show. They would just alter slight, just make miniature changes.
Yeah.
There were, The Revenge of the Green Goblin was a big one.
Yeah. So let's talk about some trivia here, guys. I'll start. So everyone bring up the IMDb trivia page that I sent you. Firestar was created exclusively for the show. She had never appeared in comics before Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And her looks, the way she looked as Angelica Jones, were based on Mary Jane Watson from the Spider-Man comics. That was intentional. They didn't have Mary Jane, they had Angelica Jones. Now, here's what's really weird about this, Cade. You guys, unless you were a fan of the show, you wouldn't remember this. Firestar didn't appear in the comics until almost 10 years after this show was on the air. And they finally introduced her in her own miniseries, where she became a member of the Hellions, a splinter group of the New Mutants. But Marvel Comics never did a Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends comic book or series.
Yeah, because there was one.
There was a one-shot, but they never did a series. And I always felt like they just missed the boat on this.
They did.
So, I don't know. But, so, Willow, what about Wolverine in the Pride of the X-Men show?
Yes. Wolverine's appearance in the show has him speak in an Australian accent, voiced by Neil Ross. Despite the character being from Canada in the comics, Wolverine also has an Australian accent, and again voiced by Ross in Pride of the X-Men, 1989. In the live-action X-Men film series that began in 2000, ironically, the character is portrayed by Hugh Jackman, who is also Australian.
I can't raise my hand, but I do have a little bit of something to say on that, if you'd be okay with that.
Sure.
Okay, so I did some extensive research into that back when I was doing a video on Pride of the X-Men.
Okay.
And believe it or not...
Bless you.
Bless you, D.
What the heck? That happened last week, too.
Believe it or not, he did not want to be Australian. He did not want the voice to be Australian, but the voice director was so determined to make it Australian. And I'll tell you why. Because apparently he thought that Australians were a big thing right then in culture. That's the reason why it was done.
Well, Crocodile Dundee was a huge box office smash.
Well, I think that's why it was. I think I think that's why he chose that voice, that accent, because the popularity, like, to him is like, oh, well, it just makes sense. But he's not Australian.
Yeah.
In fact, he's Canadian.
Well, and in
From Alberta.
in the episode The Juggernaut, Wolverine gets taken out like a little punk.
I was thinking, why did you jump on him? I was like, why?
It's my turn! And then he gets just like, and his claws get stuck in the wall, and he can't like just slice through the
nothing.
wall. I mean, he was such a waste.
Now, there's something to be said about the progression of the show, because by season 3, the fighting was way better. There was way more action sequences. There were way more.
DBRT,
Yes.
number 4 on
You-
this list, the character of Video Man. Tell us about that.
So I'm going to be honest with you, John.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up. I'm still a little spinning. I can't look at it.
Adulting is hard.
I literally cannot look at it. I was like, oh, gosh. You're going to have to read it. I apologize.
Cinco de Mayo.
Got me.
So the character of Video Man was created exclusively for this series.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, Video Man was a villain, but with the video game craze of the 1980s, Marvel thought the character had more potential as a hero instead of a villain, and set him up to be included in the X-Men for their own series pilot. Now, there's even more detail about this, Cade. That whole episode was intended to be a soft pilot for that Video Man series.
That
or-
is
or
something
character.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
There was, back in the day, there was all this hype over Video Man, and that it was going to be the next big thing, and for whatever reason, he appeared in that one episode, never appeared again anywhere in Marvel lore.
Well, I thought it was kind of peculiar how they just... So the hero version of him was season 3, episode 3, and that was called The Education of a Superhero. And I thought it was peculiar that they just sort of acted like the previous 2 episodes didn't happen. Like, he's just all of a sudden a new character. Because when he was first introduced, he was a villain, and they knew him as a villain. But in this episode, he's just, like, never been heard of before.
Yeah. And S. Baudelaire says, Video Man!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, and he also said that Spider-Man and his amazing friends got a reference in the Spider-Verse comics, and this is just recently.
Yeah.
And they were pretty mean-spirited. So what happened is they were killed.
Yeah.
In the Spider-Verse comics, Bobby, Angelica, and Peter died together.
Nobody liked that. Nobody.
No.
I think the only one left living was their dog, Miss Lion, and that was very sad.
Yeah. Yep. Willow. So let's see. Talk to us about the villains who made return appearances after their first appearances.
Only 3 villains made return appearances after their first appearance on the show. Magneto, in a brief flashback as in a Firestar is Born. Electro, in a cameo appearance in Attack of the Arachnoid.
Mm-hmm.
And Video Man, who appeared in Video Man, the origin of Iceman, and Education of a Superhero.
Yeah, and so Firestar is Born. I think Cade is my favorite. Well, my favorite single episode of this is 7 Little Superheroes. But after that, I think A Firestar is Born is maybe the best episode of the series.
Yeah, I can understand because there's a lot of people like 7 Little Superheroes as their favorite. I remember Swarm the best because that one I don't know. I guess they played that quite often, and that was, I mean, he wasn't intended originally to be an alien bug-infused meteorite. He was originally supposed to be like a human that got crossed between insects, but on this, he was a meteorite-infused swarm of bees, and to me, it sings like an old monster movie, and I love that. I love that sort of like campiness of it. But I think my favorite episode is Season 2, Episode 3, Along Came Spidey. Because,
the origin of Spider-Man.
Yes, but not because of the origin. Because of the last line they say. Because you know how their tagline, their like hero battle cry is, go for it? It's just very, go for it! But at the very end of this episode, Iceman, okay, so like Iceman and Bobby and Angelica are both consoling Peter because he's like, I'm going to quit being a superhero. I'm not going to be Spider-Man anymore. My powers have gotten Aunt May into serious trouble here. And they're up on the rooftop of the hospital just talking about his story.
Up on the rooftop. Bum, bum, bum. Anyway.
And he says, you know, he's going to quit. And Bobby's like, no way, buddy boy. You can't do that. You already know what the answer is. And they put their fists together and they say, go for it. But they don't all 3 say it. He says it in a very bittersweet, sort of somberful way. Like, it just, I don't know, it just hit different. It was very emotional.
I love that. Dee, did you have any idea that there was so much emotion and pathos in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
Not a clue.
What was your favorite episode?
Stop. I like them all equally.
Okay, that's diplomatic. I love it.
In all fairness, Dee, let's be honest here. I spent this morning before the show watching the coronation of King Charles.
That's interesting because Dee is so diplomatic, she's actually running.
What?
Running for mayor, like, because she's diplomatic.
Huh.
She could.
You know, you're the third person to say that to me.
Yeah?
You really are. Oh, like, you do. What are y'all thinking? You do not want me as a mayor. Come on.
Well, it's just that you said you like them all equally, so you made it to where it was a diplomatic answer, so...
I do like them all equally. I didn't watch a single episode, so I like them all equally. They're all the same.
You are all my people. I like you all the same.
Exactly.
That's hysterical. So, Willow, you will be interested to know, if you haven't already watched them, the X-Men, who you love, appeared in 3 separate episodes. The Juggernaut, A Firestar is Born, and the X-Men Adventure. Now, in each one of these episodes, the team is a little bit different, and Kitty Pryde changes in every episode. This first frame that I have up, Kitty Pryde is in the black and yellow in the ugliest, most uncreative costume ever.
It's really weird.
I was just gonna say, like that's not your typical Chris Claremont outfit.
And I think they called her Sprite.
Well,
in
in this one, she is in the Sprite costume. So that was her code name in the comics for a little while. She was Sprite, then she later became Shadow Cat, and I don't know what her code name is today. Most people just call her Kitty Pryde. Mm-hmm. And all three of these episodes were backdoor pilots for the 1989 X-Men animated movie, Pride of the X-Men. And again, the team was completely different in Pride of the X-Men. And it was all about Kitty Pryde joining the X-Men, which included, of all things, Dazzler.
Yes, it did.
So have you seen Pride of the X-Men, Willow?
Bits and pieces of it. I fell in love with the video game at my youth group.
Yeah.
Well, the cartoon itself does definitely play out like a video game. Very much. It's kind of like they modeled it after each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, luckily for you, Willow, Pride of the X-Men is also on Disney Plus. Willow just got Disney Plus this week, and we may not ever see her again. She's got a lot of catching up to do. Well, look, there's so much more trivia, and I mean, we could go on for hours about this. We don't have enough time, but Willow, as you were looking through some of the facts and the trivia on this show, what was one thing that stood out to you? Anything in particular?
I honestly just wanted to know what you guys thought, because like you guys know more about this stuff than I do, and I don't know. I feel like I in order to do it justice, you guys need to do more of the talking.
Well, it's because I'm obsessed. I mean, look, Avengers comic books, Star Wars movies, and Saturday morning cartoons made me who I am today. And almost every memory I have from my childhood is either connected to an experience in the movie theater, reading comic books, or some Saturday morning cartoon. And I loved Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I absolutely loved this show. And I would recreate...
My Little Pony, My Little Pony. Sorry.
I love that. See, Dee, I love that you loved My Little Pony, even though it was satanic and dark. But, we could talk about this for hours, and...
Yeah, because I look like I'm satanic and dark, right?
Well, I mean, their villains were, but...
Yeah, so S. Baudelaire asks, is that Warpath or Thunderbird? It is Thunderbird. And Ken B says, that is the goofiest Kitty Pryde costume, LOL. Yeah, it was horrible. This is an interesting fact that I did not know of. That Swarm appeared in the Spider-Man Broadway musical. He was a scientist who was a paranoid Norman Osborn turned into a monster with a gene splicer as revenge for backstabbing him along with the Sinister Six.
How did they make the bug suit work for a musical?
You know what? I never got to go up to New York to see it when it was running. It only ran for like 2 years.
Yeah,
that musical was full of
Bugs?
Fun. Yeah, Bugs. The Spider-Man that they chose at the beginning, didn't he injure himself?
Oh, there were multiple injuries.
I think there's a video about it somewhere out there.
I have a good friend who was an usher at the theater during that run, and injuries, technical. I mean, the stage rotated up.
Oh,
And there were so many times where the hydraulics failed and like people like slid down. I mean, it was a crazy thing, and eventually, thank God, it closed. But
I remember seeing the ads for it on the Spider-Man DVDs.
yeah, well, the music though, wasn't it written by Bono?
Oh, I don't know.
It was written. The music was written by a big pop star, and I'm gonna have to look that up.
I do not know that, but I just remember seeing the ad, like they were all dancing and doing like there was a Green Goblin and everything, and they were trying to mirror the movies.
Now, speaking of Marvel musicals, if you go to Disney World, you can actually see the complete Rogers musical on stage. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about, Willow,
No.
do you?
no.
When you watch Hawkeye on Disney Plus, the end credit scene of the final episode is everything my life is about. That's all I'm going to say. And you can see the whole thing. Yes, Dave Mattingly says I'm correct. Bono wrote the music for Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because it ran, from 2012 to 2014, right at 2 years.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. I knew that all from memory.
Well, good
You're-
job. My memory is twisted.
You're welcome.
I take notes. That's why I take notes.
Okay, so S. Baudelaire says, when I went, the only thing that went wrong was one of the goblin's spikes fell off while fighting over the audience.
Oh, dear.
A spike falls off into the audience? That could put an eye out.
Well, I hope that it was rubber and not. Yeah, that would suck.
I'm imagining such terror.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a true interactive musical.
Be a part of the show.
Get your eye poked out. Or worse. Hey, someone asked that they wanted to see Jiggy.
There he is.
Yay! Well, listen, guys, we could go on and on. Cade and I could talk about this for the next 4 hours on
Probably.
end. But it's New Comic Book Day, which means I've got to get to the comic book shop. Everybody else out there needs to get to the comic book shop. T is looking out the window like she needs to get outside. So we are going to end our conversation about Spider-Man and his amazing friends. But look, all of those of you who are in the audience, continue to post comments. Share your memories, your favorite episodes, what you liked most about Spider-Man and his amazing friends. And make sure that you do tune in and you watch Cade's new show, Cartoon Commotion. When does that debut, Cade?
All right, so the first episode we have planned for this month on the 20th, and we are going to be talking again about Gem in the Holograms. And I've got a special guest for that, Truly Outrageous 80s from Instagram. You can tell how she got her name. So she's really pumped up for that. I'm really pumped up for that. And if you don't mind, I got a little thing, a little blurb.
A little blurb.
Yeah, it's a little blurbish. So my show is all about revisiting the tunes of the good old days for a new perspective nowadays.
I love it.
I like that.
It's a perfect complement to what we do here on Back of the Cereal Box and a great addition to the Cereal Box
Booyah!
Network. Super, super happy to have you joining us, Cade. So excited. You're going to raise the bar, and I love it, love it, love it. Now, before we go, though, we do need to acknowledge one of our partners, Comic Books for Kids.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Awesome.
I love that. I love them. And for those of you who would love to see us live, next Saturday, I am going to be at Metrotham Con in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So,
Oh, I love that. Is that Metropolis mixed with Gotham?
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
it is.
awesome.
So we will be doing a live version of the show. I will be joined by special co-host Elizabeth Murphy Spivey, because Dee cannot join me in Metropolis next weekend. But
I have a red carpet event. That's why I can't.
I know. It's all bougie. And then, but we will both be appearing at the IC Collectors Con here in Nashville.
Whoop, whoop.
May 27th through the 29th. Dee will be there live and in person on the 28th. I'll be there all 3 days. And we're still trying to get that money together to bring Willow down. So all of those of you who are watching who would love to see Willow join us live and in person for the first time ever, buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. You can make Willow's dream of coming to America come true. Now, Willow, you got Disney Plus this week.
Yep.
After years of us telling you needed Disney Plus, you finally broke down, you got it. So here's what's going to happen. Willow is going to disappear into the vortex of Disney Plus content, but she's going to come up for air once a week, and on Wednesdays, Willow and I are going to do a special Wednesday Night Bites episode, What Willow Watched This Week. And we're going to get her thoughts on the MCU Star Wars shows that she's missed over the last several years. And I think that's going to be exciting.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
You gotta do when you do the W's. You gotta do more like Elmer Fudd, okay? So, what Willow watched this week?
Nope.
No.
Oh, come on.
It just
Oh, come
sounds
on.
good. It sounds good.
No.
Oh, you can't do it. Oh,
What Willow watched this week?
yay!
Be very, very quiet.
Okay, that was actually really good.
That's pretty good.
I'm hunting wabbits.
Okay, just be ready.
Willow and I will be watching Disney Plus cartoons.
Be ready to receive an email, because I might need you on a future show. I might need you.
That's awesome.
There are a couple that I do pretty good. That's one of them.
The one I do best is Cobra Commander. Really.
Huh.
I can do Cobra Commander pretty darn excellent. You want me to do it, don't you?
Yeah. We're waiting.
Can't see
Yeah.
not do it.
Yeah, you don't set it up and then not do it.
Hang on.
Curses, G.I. Joe!
That's pretty darn good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. I love it. And our good friend JD does a lot of cartoon voices as well.
Yeah, share some clips.
Yeah. Jared Frost says, shout out to Cade and Cartoon Commotion.
Oh, thank you.
And so Dave Mattingly says, I always pictured Ultron's voice as sounding like Cobra Commander. I can see that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, and Grizzly Adams, Dee's stalker, says that was a good Cobra Commander. I can do Chewbacca. I can't do. Oh, that's pretty good. Willow, can you do Chewbacca? Oh, that's kind of hot, Willow. I'm just OnlyFans. I'm just telling you.
Wait. Where can they get that, Willow? Where can they find that?
You can donate to buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod if you want me to continue doing this mess.
Keep going with the Chewbacca stuff. We'll be in touch.
There's a woman that does it already, and I don't want to take her spotlight.
Yeah, but
Wait, is that the one? That's like the mom with the mask.
Yeah.
Is that so? You want?
no, she's just wearing a mask.
Yeah, the
That's-
mask does the work.
The mask does it. It's not her. It's the mask.
Dee's like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, that's funny. That's hysterical.
I'm
All right,
usually pretty clueless.
that's why we have you on this show.
Well, it adds reaction. It definitely adds reaction.
Yep, she represents the audience who is like, "What is happening?" Anyway,
If we
'Cause
we need a
that
close
is-
up then.
yeah. So Will or D, this is the "What is happening" reaction.
Yep.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, we got to go, guys. Everybody, make sure you follow, find, and support everybody at DBarTPhoto on Instagrams, all the socials. Follow Willow at Willow Skylar. And if you want to hear her rants about inappropriate comments on her YouTube channel, just watch her TikTok videos. TikTok. And you could follow the show at Cereal Box Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And Cade, where can they find Cartoon Commotion?
So you can find me on Twitter at C_commotion. And YouTube, it's at Cartoon Commotion. And on, Facebook, just look up Cartoon Commotion. It's all there.
D, is that one of your kids screaming in the background?
Of course.
Cade, she's got 5 kids! That's fantastic. I love it. Well, everybody, I so much appreciate you guys watching and being a part of the show, listening, being in the audience. Whatever platform you're part of the audience, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it. If you can't contribute at buymeacoffee.com, at least share the shows. And that helps us out more than anything. Takes 2 seconds to click share. And that helps us out tremendously. And if you hate the show, donate even more at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod to help us improve. Ta-da! And with that, we will say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, bonjour, love you, mean it, and we'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.